Esther 9:26 through 28 says, "And therefore they called these days Purim after the name of Pur. And it became the instruction in the letter to both what they had seen in regard to what had happened to them. And the Jews established and made a custom for themselves, for all their descendants, and for those who allied themselves with them, so they would not fail to celebrate these 2 days according to the regulations and according to their appointed time annually. So these days were to remember and to be celebrated throughout every family and every generation, and every province and every city, and the days of Purim were not to fail from among the Jews, or from the memory fade from their descendants." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is Esther 9:20 through 10:3, and I encourage you to read that passage. Now, what kind of traditions do you have in your house or in your church, or in your local community for that matter? We just celebrated the 4th of July. This has been celebrated for almost 250 years. In June, we celebrated or remembered the anniversary of the landing of the France in D-Day. And each Easter, we remember Christ's resurrection, an almost 2,000-year-old event. The Jews remember that event that occurred in the book of Esther. This has been taking place for almost 2,500 years. So why do we remember events? Why do we celebrate things that happened so long ago? I think that the reason is that it gives us something on to which to hold on to. It gives us our meaning in life. Traditions help to understand our history as well as our future. So what traditions do you have, or have you started to remember in your walk with Christ? Do you have a special place that has things to help you remember who you are or what's happened to you? In my office, I have a wall covered with icons. These are depicting events in Christ's life or in the lives of Christians who came many centuries before me. Yet on another wall, I have a lithograph of Lincoln reading the Emancipation Proclamation to his cabinet. The rest of my walls are covered with pictures or drawings of my family's history of sailing full rigs, or tall ships as they're now known. These all remind me of who I am and from where I came. It's important for all of us to have the things remind us of who we are in Christ. These things will help us in times of trouble to maintain our focus on Christ and not necessarily our problems. Think of some physical things which remind you of events or your history or your place and you can put them, so you'll be able to regularly see them. And they will remind you of who you are in Christ and what God has done for you, so that when the struggles come, and they will come, you will be reminded of your grounding in who you are and who Christ is.